Welcome back to Royal Divine. Here's why Prince Harry gets unfairly accused of not being King Charles's son. Before we continue, I encourage you to hit the notification bell. Being dealt with as a red-headed stepchild for years didn't precisely ingratiate Prince Harry to the British media or the royal establishment, mainly when his personal parentage was once regularly referred to as into query with no rebuttal. It's one of the worst last results of the brutal PR marketing campaign in opposition to Princess Diana, and nonetheless sees steady use in gossip and jokes. Much like his late mother, the prince has been the challenge of continuous assaults from the media and branded the black sheep of the royals for now not conforming to their standards. His outspoken criticism of the tabloids imprecise has made him one of their most conventional targets. Harry's relationships with his family are a staple of royal gossip. However, his connection with King Charles faces a special criticism. It appears as although between the media's vicious assaults in opposition to Princess Diana and the revelation of her extramarital affair with her red-haired driving instructor, James Hewitt, by some means made a regarding quantity of humans overlook that having teenagers isn't a cloning process. Diana's youngest son took place to have purple hair, tons like a range of her household members. Despite this, his younger face used to be put below a microscope to show that he didn't appear like Charles, though. These investigations regularly depart out the reality that his childhood look equally resembled his paternal grandfather. These instances curiously proved compelling, sufficient for an untold quantity of critics to drag each Harry and his mother's title via the mud, by way of disturbing DNA assessments, or simply actually making up their personal DNA results. Harry's parentage has been referred to as into query greater instances than we can count, and though none of these tales have ever became up a scrap of proof, the narrative continues to pop up. Multiple tabloids bought away with claiming that any person had leaked a DNA take a look at that proved Harry wasn't Charles's son, arguing that Princess Diana's tennis coach, bodyguard, attendant, or some different man was once his actual father. These falsehoods regularly conceal themselves as a section of the imagined fighting between Harry and his family. Headline after headline has shouted that Harry used to be getting revenge on Charles, with the aid of saying that he wasn't his father, whilst an equal quantity of journal covers held that Charles was once the one getting even with his son, with the aid of taking a paternity test. Either way, it's clear that even in Harry and Charles's most harsh of disagreements, neither father nor son has ever even come shut to doing whatever remotely like that. We can't even determine out why they had been supposed to do some things so aggressive different than it making for a compelling headline. As boring as it is for Charles to be Harry's father, it's the clear truth. The Duke of Sussex is securely in place in the line of succession as the modern-day fifth in line, with solely Prince William and his three youngsters in advance of him. Even if Charles by some means believed that Harry wasn't his son, he doesn't have the electricity to alter the line of succession, DNA trying out or not. When a narrative is even in part based totally on the look of a literal child, it's normally no longer really worth even acknowledging. Fraternal twins can seem to be absolutely one of a kind from one another, simply like how siblings separated through years can appear identical. You're born with a combine of two people's DNA, and with all due respect, Charles's royal genetics had no benefit over Diana's. As Harry has aged, it's solely come to be extra apparent that he does in truth take after Charles's facet of the family. He might also have efficiently resigned from the royal institution, however he will constantly be his father's son.